Man, I must have. I probably deleted the joint by accident.
I'll try to resend it.
Must got a sponsor, yo. We got music back. What is going on?
Got some money in the GoFundMe.
Sponsored by the carry out. What do you say? Let me get a whole steak of cheese with everything on it. No hot
hold
peppers.
you hold the hot peppers. Go-to
Right.
order, yo. Hold the hot
All right,
peppers.
man. Yeah, no hot peppers. Yeah, that might have me crying, Joe. Talk about how dudes in the hood try to get you to do you a favor and always try to make you feel like you supposed to do it for them.
Right.
Why I gotta go pick him up? You gotta hold my effing spaceship. Man, so what's good, man? Yeah, I think it's been a minute since we since I don't even know, we didn't have everybody on last week, did we?
Yeah, I came on late.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, man. So we back up in here. The In the Pocket Fantasy Football Podcast. We got Gene on his parents' computer. Don't have none of his information. Jose got 15 minutes, and then he out of here because Belly gonna be coming through and telling him what to do. And Terrence is opining about his football card, basketball card collection, making us feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, not only is he hitting the fantasy parlays, but then he
I'm so proud of this. I'm so proud of this
card collection. So
I got no Kobe's though, man.
Oh man,
I stopped collecting.
I know
around that time, man. And they said his rookie card went for over $1 million.
I'm kicking myself, man. Being too cool to collect cards during that time.
Yeah, you know what? You just remind me. I need to start looking to see if I have my Tom Brady rookie card.
But yo, real quick though, when they say a rookie card is going for over $1 million, it ain't every rookie card, right? It gotta
it's one particular joint. Yeah,
it gotta be, and it gotta be graded like mint condition.
Right.
They call it a PS10. That means like it's like no flaws on it or nothing.
I was too cool for cards at that time, man.
Right, I know. Can't be at Frostburg like, yeah, I got that.
Oh man! All right, man. So, fellas, let's get into it, man. Y'all want to recap the Thursday night joint since we basically talked about it already for the Cowboys game. And so I got a question. They said that basically if you play on Thursday night for Thanksgiving, you're supposed to play again the following Thursday. But it was only one game though. But it was more than one team. More than one game on Thanksgiving. So that is that all.
I think they try to most years if possible. I think there's a team that played last week that's not playing this Thursday.
Okay.
A couple actually, but they tried to with Dallas. They definitely tried to because they used to have a built-in advantage, and now since they give everybody a Thursday game, Dallas gets 2 Thursday games, so they try not to give them 2 built-in advantages.
Oh, okay. All right, man. So just to recap real quick on that, we saw Taysom Hill basically implode for most of the game, but still, like Gene said, he had 4 interceptions, but basically, based on his ability to run the ball, ended up with 101 yards on 11 attempts, and he had 2 touchdowns, one that was late for 70+ yards to who did end up going to Deontay Harris, right? Yeah, who ended up with 4 receptions, 96 yards, 1 TD. So I'm looking at it, man, and you actually if you had Taysom Hill, you came up, you had Deontay Harris for New Orleans. You had a pretty good outing.
Terrence, did you start him?
Huh?
Did you start him?
Yeah. He made me some money on that play, dog. I was down. He caught that touchdown. I ended up cashing for like $50, but it was good. I mean, it was something because I was losing.
And so with the Cowboys and Dak, I think you was talking about this earlier, Jose. He gave you 12.2 points for this past game. Did just enough to win. Tony Pollard came up big, 7 rushing attempts, 71 yards, 1 TD. He had that one big one.
Oh, I know why you're not complaining, Gene, because you got Tony Pollard on your team.
I mean,
what it is, right?
I mean, he part of the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to say.
So, from a receiving perspective, Gallup ended up with 1 touchdown on 5 receptions, had 9 targets. CeeDee Lamb had 13 targets. He was a target monster this game. Didn't get in the end zone, but had 7 for 89, which is decent, especially for
1, which is the worst thing ever.
Right, I know. Got stopped at the 1 after. He was actually, I mean, like literally close to getting into like it wasn't even like it was clear, that he didn't get in, but. So the Cowboys, end up winning the game, 27-17. Going forward, you guys basically think Taysom Hill is going to be in the same boat. I'm trying to think who's the other quarterback. From Jalen Hurts, right? Just based on the fact that his upside and running, that he'll be in the mix to at least give you double-digit fantasy points, for the remainder of the season.
I agree. I think so. If he can stay healthy.
I'll say until Kamara come back. I mean, they pretty much ain't had no running back, so I'd like to see how he look once they got a running back in there.
Yeah, speaking of which, their running game was terrible last on Thursday. Ingram had 10 carries for 28 yards, and Ty Montgomery had 4 for 21. So neither one of them even approached a productive day, and only had a total. Actually, Ingram had minus yards in the receiving game, and Ty Montgomery only had 9 yards. So that was basically.
You know what we haven't talked about enough though on here is Dallas defense, yo. Like even though they give up a ton of yards, they get a lot of points, especially in our other league because they get so many turnovers.
They're about to say they get turnovers
and they get touchdowns. It's like the third or fourth defensive touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Remember early on in the season they were talking about Diggs was playing better than his brother in terms of scoring fantasy points.
Yeah, they get a lot of points on defense.
All right, man. So that was Thursday night. Let's get into player status and updates from an injuries perspective. Those who have been ruled out is Marquise Goodwin, receiver for Chicago. Dalvin Cook, of course, is out for Minnesota, given a shoulder injury, and DeAndre Swift is off for Detroit. I'm surprised Daniel Jones. They've been talking about it all week, but he's out for the Giants. So, considering that he hadn't had any receivers to play with, now they don't have a starting quarterback. I'm not sure what you can expect.
Miami, that's my number 1 defense on the week.
I understand why.
What I got?
Philadelphia,
Minnesota's mine.
You got Minnesota.
To play Detroit.
The Jordan Howard once again is out against the Jets, and the thing is, Boston Scott, and we was gonna get to him, but he's questionable for illness. So anybody got Miles Sanders might be in for a nice little treat this week. And look, and as I'm talking, right, I'm just sitting there thinking like, dang, do I got Miami defense? Do I got Miles Sanders? Are they available in the league? I'm almost ready to cut the podcast off and go get my lineup together. But I'm gonna keep it legit, keep it professional. Gene, I see you over there looking, man. Get off the league. Crazy wise. J.D. McKissick is out for Washington after taking that big hit last week. Man,
he was my starting running back.
The way they was hovering around him, because I actually didn't see the play when it happened, but the way they was hovering around, I thought my man was, he was somehow like checking him to see if he could feel his limbs. The way they were, they were looking at him.
Me too. That's what I was thinking too.
Darren Waller, he is out this week, and let's see. Deebo Samuel is out for San Fran. Trey Sermon is out for San Fran, and Melvin Gordon has been ruled out for Denver. Jose, we'll start with you with the San Fran impact with Deebo being out. Considering that he basically his fantasy value came from running the ball, does that impact any of the other pass catchers at this point in time? Because he wasn't getting a lot of, he wasn't scoring a lot from a receiving perspective. Everything was getting handoff.
During the season, he was a receiver. He started getting points up like last 2 weeks at running back. The impact is going to be a more uptick on Ayuk and Kittle and then the running back Mitchell. It's going to be Mitchell and Wilson Jr. So I see Mitchell getting a lot of carries, and I see a lot of if you have Kittle, put him in, start Kittle this year. I mean this week. Kittle's going to get a lot of designated balls coming to him because they need that impact that Debo had.
It made me think about they was talking about Kittle doing some of the other fantasy shows, right? And they were talking about he get penalized because he's such an effective blocker, right? That they actually use him, as a one of the primary blockers in their run game, right? And it made me think about when we were at Frostburg, how much we had to block as receivers.
I hated that, man. I hated it.
Oh man, I guarantee you that they don't even do blocking drills with receivers in college anymore.
We had to cut them all the time. We had to run and try to cut them.
Man,
you say you don't think they do blocking drills
at a receiver slam? When I say we had to do blocking drills, we don't get into it now.
That's how we started.
We used to have to go 1-on-1s against the outside and inside backers as receivers.
That's crazy.
Like it didn't even make any sense. Like it was ridiculous.
And we had some linebackers that were big, fast. It was.
I remember one time they came over there. I think like Zeke when they run the inside linebackers for one time, and Zeke got in the front of the line. Like, man, I ain't going up there. Y'all play too much. But yeah, no, it was rough. Like they probably if they had to do what we had to do, they probably get call the what's the name on athletic director on Coach Day these days.
But definitely watch definitely those three players. It's going to be like
I need Kittle to come through, so I'm hoping he can get all the mix he can get this week.
And Jerron Jennings, he's been doing good, so I don't know if they're going to point him out this week, but I just point out the people that I know. Ayuk is going to get an uptick because Ayuk can handle it by himself on the outside receiver.
I just realized in one of my leagues, the salary cap league, then my two running backs are Melvin Gordon and Dalvin Cook. And I got Michael Carter on the bench who's on injury reserve.
That's a free.
That's how the season been going for me. So, all right. And then as we talked about Melvin Gordon or San Fran's situation, the game time decisions. All right, let's go to doubtful. Doubtful to play Allen Robinson the second for Chicago. Justin Fields is doubtful to play, but I think they won't give what's the name, the red, what they call him, the red rifle. He was gonna get the start anyway, more than likely this week since Justin Fields was iffy. David Johnson, I'm not sure if that's any impact whatsoever for Houston running back. He's doubtful to play. It got him listed as questionable at the moment, dealing with it says illness and time, so you got a little bit of everything. Sterling Shepard once again makes the doubtful list for as the receiver for New York Giants. Still nursing a quad issue, and unfortunately, one of my biggest most expensive free agent pickups this year, Kadarius Toney. Apparently, I missed the boat because that one game he had looked like it's going to be all he's going to have this year. He's listed as doubtful, and I'm not even sure if he played. What to expect considering that Daniel Jones is out. Jalen Hurts is doubtful this week, and they say he'll be evaluated by the team prior to kickoff before making a final decision on his ankle situation.
Isn't that their backup Minshew?
Yep. From what was it? Jacksonville glory days. One year he had like a nice season. Just all the fact that they were getting blown out so bad early in the game that he would just have to throw the ball.
He might do good. If he plays, they might do good with him because he could actually throw.
And look, Terrence's favorite receiver, Corey Davis, the game time decision, but he's doubtful. Nursing the groin. Other game time decisions are James Robinson, Jacksonville Jaguars running back, dealing with a knee and heel issue. So he's looking at questionable. And if he doesn't play, looks like Carlos Hyde should be in for the majority of the work in that backfield. Darrell Henderson, who seems to stay on the injury report each week, is he's a game time decision, and he's dealing with a ailing thigh issue. So they said he give it a test doing pregame warmups and make a decision there. So man, if he in your lineups, definitely pay attention to that. Alex Collins, he's a game time decision this week as well. He's dealing with an abdominal issue, having an ab issue, but he's basically been a low end flex play for the most part, and Rashad Penny as well. So Seattle's backfield continues to be in flux. Others that showed up on the reports as questionable or they were iffy coming into the week, but are expected to play. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, unfortunately, considering I still have Williams on a lot of my lineups. Odell Beckham Jr., Deshaun Jackson, Josh Jacobs, Curtis Samuel, Boston Scott, Brandon Cooks, Jack Doyle, DeAndre Hopkins, and Kyler Murray. This will be the first time they both play, right? This week in a while. DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it says Hopkins has been sidelined since he's been out since week 8.
But it's still game time decision, right?
They say expect to play with Murray. It says Cliff Kingsbury said Murray will play. So and so this is since week 8, since both him and Hopkins have been out. And for Hopkins, it says according to Coach Kingsbury, he's supposed to.
Hold your reindeer, Santa. Capital One Shopping Instant.
Man, I don't know who that is.
That was me, yo. That's what happens when you're trying to navigate between like one laptop, yo.
Man, he in there trying to get his lineup right. He got the Yahoo ads popping up.
That was an ESPN joint too.
So, all right, man, let's get into it. The Sunday slate. Any other insight on inactives? Anybody I missed or that of note that you guys think of before I move on? All right.
You said,
all right, cool.
Yeah. You said DeAndre Swift, right?
Yeah, he's out. All right, man, let's get into the this week's slate of games. Week 13, man. At week 13, look, you figure we would have the fantasy, prognostications and ideas. It's pretty much set at this point in time, man. I can't say I'm more confident in this week than I was 5 weeks ago. Normally we get when we hit week 10, normally I'm like, okay, I know who I need to bank on, who I can count on week in and week out. And man, like folks like Kittle, he'll come up and give me 2 points. So I can't call him. All right, man, let's get into it. First game up. Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans. Colts favored by 9. Over under is 45.5 points. Carson Wentz. It says right now he's 4th in the NFL over the last 2 weeks, and Pro Football Focus passing grades that's the last 2 weeks, right? And so that's been boding well for Pittman. Tyrod Taylor seems to still have a decent floor, and so now he's a total of 265 yards over the last 2 weeks, but his floor is set by the fact that he gets rushing yards as well. We know we're going with Jonathan Taylor should have another outstanding day against Houston if they decide to run the ball, right? I think last week they got real cute. And
they're gonna run the ball this week.
If they don't, what's name should be let go.
Their coach is doing great.
I don't understand how you have a guy, basically approaching record breaking pace, and then all of a sudden decide, okay, we're gonna use him as a decoy. Like I'm not even sure, but the logic in that. And they said that currently in half PPR, Jonathan Taylor has 266 0.1 half PPR fantasy points through 12 games. It said the next closest player to him at the running back position is Austin Eckler, who has 217.2 points a game. So that's 22.2 points per game, and has scored a touchdown in 9 straight games. So, yeah, the proof is in the pudding. Anything else to note regarding this game before we move on? Gene, anything to note?
Not really.
Let's move on to Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions. We mentioned that DeAndre Swift is out for Detroit, and Dalvin Cook is out for Minnesota. So this is the battle of the back and running backs. I think it's pretty safe to say that the person who went out net is going to be Alexander Madison, more than likely.
Think so?
And filling out, it says in the 2 games this year that Madison has played, has been a starter. He's seen an average of 25 and a half carries, 112 rushing yards, 7.5 targets, 6.5 receptions, 49.5 yards receiving, and half a touchdown. That sounds like if you can get those numbers out of any running back, you should have a pretty good day. So Jamal Williams will be number one, the guy next up for Detroit. But we all know that for the most part, everything was going coming through the passing game. But I think DeAndre Swift in the last couple games has most of his production has been coming on the ground from the actual traditional running back stats. But before it was mostly passing.
Yeah, but even with DeAndre Swift, because I have him, even with him killing like that, they still was sharing a decent amount. So with Williams having sole possession of the touches, that should bowl pretty well for anyone that needs him, or that has him, or that needs someone to pick up if they haven't already, which I'm sure they have.
All right, man. I think it's a safe bet that you wrote on all your Minnesota receivers: Jefferson, Thielen. Might even be able to put Amon-Ra St. Brown in with Detroit. But with Goff, I don't think you can trust anybody on Detroit. Tyler Conklin is with Cookout. He may be an uptick in targets.
Let's go, Conklin.
And Hawks, I mean, he's been hit or miss. He's getting targets, but he's just been up and down for the most part. And they say since what does it say? It says start off the year with back-to-back top 5 fantasy finishes, and then since that time, has only been in the top 5 just once since week 2. So, and he's also finished outside the top 12 tight ends in 6 other games so far this season. So, I'm rolling him out there because the tight end pool is not that deep, but it's like I said before, it's definitely up and down, hit or miss. All right, here's Terrence's defensive string for the week. New York Giants versus the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are actually favored by 4. The over-under is 40 points. So it looks like it's not going to be. Watch it be like they score like 60 points in this game. Mm-hmm. Just because it looks so sweet from a defensive standpoint.
It do be like that.
Mike Lennon is going to be a starting quarterback and we haven't seen him since Tampa Bay, I don't think. Is going to be the quarterback for the New York Giants. Tua and stepping up. It says, he's the fourth QB in NFL history to complete more than 80% of his passes in back-to-back games with a minimum of 30%. So we knew that coming out of college that he was extremely accurate. However, he hasn't been a top 5 QB as of yet. Going against the Giants defense, it definitely should bode well for him this week. What's your thoughts on Saquon, Gene?
Man, I don't believe it until I see it. Like, I'm gonna start him because he's the best option on my team. But he's probably good for about eight like to throw a point. You know what I mean? Like, because also they don't like the offensive line isn't that great, and they don't open up a ton of holes. And we already know what Daniel Jones is at this point. So I give him 8 to 12. Nothing explosive like he was his first year.
So with Miles Gaskins, right? He was up and down early in the year, but now they say over the last what is this? Last two games, he has 39 carries and a combined total of 35 fantasy points. So, and that goes, and he has over 30 red zone carries this season, which is which is in line with players like Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson, Joe Mixon, Darrell Henderson, and Najee Harris in regards to his goal line carries. So he's looking to be, anywhere between a mid to high to mid range RB2 against the Giants this week.
I like Gaskin. I like Gesicki. I like Waddle. I think Devontae Parker's back in the game too.
Yeah, I believe the
Parker.
So from weeks 3 to 8, Gesicki had just one game where he finished outside the top 10 and had PPR formats. So let's see, since week 8, he's been on a kind of a slump though, where he had to crack the top 10 or top 12 since week 8, and he had that. What was it?
Against the Ravens, we had zero.
Yeah, we had zero. He had 0-0-0 stat line. So he would be definitely a sneaky DFS play, considering nobody's gonna really be on him. He's been down, but we know he's had ability to put up top 12 numbers. So, and with the pool being so shallow at tight end, definitely puts him at a low end tight end 1 or a high end 2 situation. But I don't think you trust anybody from the Giants at this point in time, can you? But so many guys questionable or out.
Probably
Ingram.
Just because Glennon, he's all tight ends are safety valve for the quarterbacks, tight ends and running backs. So I do see Barkley going off a little bit on this game.
Even against the Dolphins defense?
Yeah, because it's mostly catching though, not like rushing.
All right.
All right. So next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Bucs are favored by double digits. They favored by 11. Over under 50.5 points. We saw last week. Apparently, Atlanta's offense goes when Cordero Patterson goes. Right? He was out the week before, and they did absolutely nothing. But he returned last week. Returned to week 12 and ended up with 27 half PPR fantasy points. He had 16 carries, 108 yards, and 2 receptions for 27 yards and 2 touchdowns a week in week 12. So they were able to move the ball when he was there. And I like to say before Deebo Samuel, Cordero Patterson was the true wide receiver running back threat this year, and had and was doing it at a high level. Continues to do it. He would be a league winner if the rest of my dudes showed up like they're supposed to. But then we got Cordero Patterson at running back versus Leonard Fournette, who came out last week and just basically shattered the Indianapolis Colts. He ripped them for 41 half PPR fantasy points. So let me see what his over under is. We can do an over under with Leonard Fournette this week. He was playing against the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see, his expected point total should be his over under or his expected point total and half PPR is 16.1. So we'll start with you, Terrence. What you think about Leonard Fournette?
Yeah, you got to go over after the man dropped 40 last week. I'm taking the over on that.
Aren't you the person that said that, or who said it? Who said that?
After I'm not saying he's going to be a top 5, but I'm saying 16 points. that's a touchdown and 80 yards and 2 catches. You know what I mean? I think he can get that. So,
What
but
about
yeah, I'm
you?
not saying he going. I'm not starting him in any of my DFS leagues.
Oh, okay. Look, you know you're gonna be hot in DFS. So
Right. Yeah.
considering he got a matchup against the Falcons, what's your thoughts on that, Gene? You on over under 16.1?
He's done a lot of passes lately. A lot of receptions. Which I didn't expect at the beginning of the year. I thought that he would be more like a short yardage type use back. So with that said, I would probably have him going over. Um, just because Atlanta defense is terrible too. So there'd be a lot of opportunities for him to get into the end zone as well as catch a few out the backfield. So I'm gonna go over.
You
And this
making
is
the
a
tweak,
half
Jose?
PPR, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I would go.
I'm just gonna be difficult. I'm going under. I just feel like it's gonna be
This
they're
is gonna be contrarian,
in the
huh?
conference. In the conference, I think they're gonna
In the
change it up a little
conference.
bit. Or in the
Yeah.
division, I'm sorry, in the division.
Oh.
So they're gonna play tight. I don't know. I see it. I see it. I see Ronald Jones probably getting most of the carries this week.
What? That's not gonna happen. Ronald Jones is a bum, man. I can't believe I was playing that dude. I don't know. I mean, but why you think they're gonna give it to Ronald Jones? I don't think he's been playing with it.
Yeah, he has been playing well. It's just that he don't play as much because Fournette been playing good. I mean, it's scheme. It's scheme with them. I think with Fournette, they're gonna focus the defense because their defense coordinator is the coordinator from Ravens. They're gonna focus on trying to slow down Fournette because they know what Fournette can do. So from that point, having Rondell Jones, nobody really knows what he can do. I mean, he's still a good back. He could be a good back. He could be a starter back at somebody else's team. So I think he'll just give it a different speed, different type of back, different type of understanding how to hit the holes. Not saying that he's the starter, but just for this game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see. I'm look. I usually don't weigh in, but I'm gonna say the over. So look, we got a question in the it came up from my man Jose Vega. Jose, it's not your folks, is it?
No,
It's the question is
Why
there might be
name's
some
not up there?
the Burrows or Matt Ryan this week. I think
I'm going with Burrows.
who's I'm before I start speaking. Who's Burrows matched up against this week? Since he has
Bro, I'm playing the Chargers.
Chargers. Okay.
Reason why I'm going with Burrows is that he got more weapons. It's more of he got mixing. He got better receiver options. The offensive plays is a little bit more better and diverse, and he's more confident. Matt Ryan, he's an experienced quarterback, but his receivers is not that good. Yeah, they're going against Tampa Bay secondary, but the receivers is not going to be. I mean, like not Terrence, like Ronnie said, it goes through Patterson. So with Burrows, I think Burrows will be more of a shootout than Matt Ryan.
So again, we're playing fantasy football. So from a fantasy perspective, the only two reasons why I could see you going with Matt Ryan over Burrow, because I'm gonna just say I will go with Burrow. But the two things that Matt Ryan has going for him from a fantasy aspect is that, like they just touched on, Tampa Bay secondary is bad and they're not that good, and also Atlanta's most likely going to be down. So not from a game standpoint, but just from a fantasy standpoint, I can see them putting the ball in the air a lot because they're down 21-3, you know what I mean, 28-10. So I can see Ryan getting a lot of empty calories because they're down and Tampa Bay secondary isn't that good. So
Yeah, anything on that terms?
Yeah, no, I agree with Eugene on game script. I can see. I think it's still close though. Because one way I like to look at it is, would I play any receivers on Atlanta Falcons? Because Matt Ryan got to throw to somebody,
right.
So I'm like, Kyle Pitts or Cordell Patterson. versus Higgins and Chase
and Boyd and Utzamore.
Boyd. I don't know. I just think Burrow got more opportunity. But like I said, it can go either way because I'm kind of 50-50 on this because Mixon could have 30 carries. And it could just be, they could just lean on him, So, but I'm gonna take Burrow just because of his weapons, I mean, because Atlanta could lose 21-7 in this game or 21-10. It could be really bad, So
like bad, like not
right.
bad, not bad, but good fantasy wise.
Right.
Bad,
they could be throwing the ball and nobody could be catching them joints. So So I agree on game script, but I just don't think Matt Ryan got the weapon. So I
would definitely go with Burrow, but just from a fantasy standpoint, I've seen a ton of offenses. Like same thing with Taysom Hill, right? Like if you watch the game, you would be like, he was all right, but if you looked at the end of the numbers, you'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? I just think that when someone's down all game, it lends itself to have a big day fantasy wise.
But see. Hill's numbers would have been terrible if he didn't run for 100 yards.
Yep.
He would have been that saved him.
Right. That's true. That's true.
All right. So look, to finish out. So we had this debate every weekend, right? And it plays out to basically it plays out perfectly every weekend. So no AB, right? But back to the same question: do you go Godwin or Evans this week? What you think, Terrence? Look, then. Going to the fact that Gronkowski is back, and the 2 games since
I'm going with Gronk.
Since he came back, he's seen 18 targets. Right, he's caught 13 of them and has 194 yards receiving. Man, that's a 2 games back, and they already get almost 200 yards receiving.
Yeah, Gronk knows him. They both. I'm putting Gronk in my fantasy pool.
So, like I said, here we go. Godwin or Evans. That's pretty much how I do it with them. You can't they not consistent. You know what I mean? It's like, do you want the boom or bust, or do you want the guy who might have 6 catches for 60 yards?
They both stunk last week. So
I like Gronk. I'm with Jose. Like I think Gronk
there's no way to be
the most predictable person.
Listen, it goes like this. If Gronk's there, is Gronk number 1. If Gronk's is out and Antonio Brown's there, Antonio's number 1. If Gronk and Antonio is out, then it's Godwin, then Evans for touchdowns. That's how it goes.
You disagree at all with any of that between what they say, Gene?
No, I'm going to go ahead and
right.
I don't want no shots fired over here.
All we do is fire shots over here.
I'm gonna stay neutral here. I ain't with my vest this morning.
So we
definitely
time
out, man. Y'all need to get it together, man. Come on, man. Get y'all head in the game. Let's go. We got people asking questions.
Right.
Listen, I said Burrow.
No. We got, but
I didn't go back and forth. I ain't go back and forth. Fantasy. He's asking for fantasy. I'm saying Burrow. Burrow's gonna throw the Chase. Chase been down for 2 games. T. Higgins been killing it. Tyler Boyd out there.
A coffee.
But some more. You got Mixon. Let Mixon run for 30 yards. They're gonna have consistent.
Hey, Terrence, but they say they don't care what you have to say. As long as you on one side or the other, ain't no neutrality when you on football.
But I went first though. I chose Burrow. I gave a whole.
You said no.
I'm talking about the Gronk, Godwin Evans situation.
Oh yeah, I mean, I ain't want to get in between Jose and Terrence's banter, but
I mean at the end of the day, Tampa Bay, you gotta look at who's hot right now. Okay, yeah. Redskins hot, Colts hot. They lost to Tampa Bay, but they still hot. Tampa Bay, they're not simmering. Hot. They simmering right now. You know what I mean?
Bro, we talking individual matchups though.
Yeah, but that plays out. Who got the momentum right now? You know what I mean? And right now, Tampa Bay, they not like winning convincingly. Like at the beginning of the season, it was Brady. Like I would be saying, pay Brady, Evans, I put all of them in.
Yeah, you can get all the stack them all.
I'm not saying that right now. They I think Tom Brady got them on cruise control, and they're gonna probably pick it back up near the end or playoffs. So
yep. All they do is running.
Who hot right now.
So wasn't the question? Hold on, go back to the debate though. What
he
were
said,
y'all debating? I feel like
he said Evans. He said Evans. Who's the receiver?
He said Evans or Godwin.
Oh, Godwin. I'm saying Grunt. He didn't add Grunt. He didn't add Grunt.
Right. So he did say Evans Godwin, right?
Yeah. But Jose take was like nobody and go Gronk.
Right. Okay. I thought I was tripping. Okay, that's why.
Because if you look at the history, when Gronk was playing.
But Gronk's got an option though, Jose.
It is an option because he throws to him 18 targets. That's him. That's his boy.
Hold on. So Terrence said Evans Godwin.
Don't play none of them.
Not the person. All right.
My bad, Rodney. I'm sorry. You said Evans.
It's
or
Rodney's
Godwin.
fault.
I'm saying none.
Rodney needs to stop asking that
I'm saying none.
So, but here's the problem, right?
I'm saying none. Don't even roster them.
Don't even roster tight end, right?
Exactly.
So, and this is why I got confused. I ain't want to jump in because I thought I missed something. Throwing Gronk in the middle of it doesn't help the viewer.
That was a Rodney question. That's why we said
right. But Rodney gave 2 receivers.
And I'm saying that's my bad. I added a person in. I'm saying neither. There's no difference. There's neither.
Hey, G, basically what they said, that's a stupid question. we ain't having that debate no more.
That's why I brought out the quarter. I was
right.
Like,
he's like, we ain't having that debate no more. That's just stick
hold on, y'all. I want to stay here for one more minute. I think it's a good debate because people out there usually got 2 receivers on the same team, so they got to choose between Evans or Godwin.
Okay, if you have them on your team, all right. I'm gonna get clear.
But unless you choose between the flex, Gronk doesn't come into play.
Nobody.
Listen. We speak about this every week, right? And we break it down every week. Godwin is the possession receiver,
and
Evans is the touchdown. You said this multiple times.
Sorry, Rodney,
I
tried, Rodney. I tried, yo.
I feel
this I told y'all I have a vest on.
The thing is that because of how late Gronk went, a lot of people could have had either one of your receivers and Gronk. So that's so Gronk. I guess Gronk would be a viable option in this in debate because most people were able to get him. You know, if you drafted one of the receivers, earlier. And picked up Gronk early. So, all right, let's move on, man.
In the flex, though.
Say it again.
If you got him in the flex, because you can't choose between Evans and Gronk. And that was my point.
Right. Okay. All right, so next up, Philly Eagles versus the New York Jets. Eagles are favored by 6.5 on the road, and the over-under is 45.5 points. Gardner Minshew is will be the starter for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Zach Wilson, who's been a nightmare. He has 4 touchdowns and 10 interceptions on the season, right? I guess the question is, aside from the fact that Miles Sanders and Howard look like they're both going to be out, and so you got Boston Scott.
You said Miles Sanders out?
Well, no, actually, it says I'm looking at it. It says update says Sanders is expected to play. So it looks like that's who you probably want to roll with from a running back standpoint with Philly. But with the 2 quarterbacks that are playing, do you want anybody in this game? I guess that's the question. Who's that? Who you like, Jose?
Devontae Smith. I like Devontae Smith in this game. Gobert.
What going to miss you, the guy with the funny beard and mustache? At that time when he was in Jacksonville.
Yep. And then for the Jets, I like Elijah Moore. A sleeper pick is Griffin, tight end. I forgot his name. Griffin. First name, last name is Griffin.
Oh, okay. Let me see. What about Dallas Goedert? Any love?
Yeah, I like him.
Gene, it sounds like you want to say something.
No, I mean, gotta be hit or miss. So, but you know what? They playing against the Jets. So,
It's Ryan Griffin. Jose is his name.
Ryan Griffin, yeah.
yo, Smith, man, the biggest enigma for Philly is Smith. Smith, like the receiver, like I don't know, like he's so hit and miss, man.
The
Like I
reason why I'm
thought,
going with him is if Minshew plays.
yeah, I thought he would be a game breaker though.
He had some games where he looked good, like he's supposed to be, but then the other games he just nowhere to be
Yeah,
found.
yeah.
All
I feel
right, so
like
we get. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that I don't feel like that on offense. They have no real like game plan. I feel like it's random. You know what I mean? Like they be get a season without running the ball at all. Now all they do is run the ball. They don't really have like a number one receiver that they try to focus on. That you try to get the ball to. Goddard's the same way. Like sometimes he has big games, then he'll go 2 or 3 weeks with maybe 2 or 3 catches. So yeah, Philly's kind of random. I don't really know what their identity is at this point.
All right, next up, Arizona Cardinals, Chicago Bears. Cardinals favored by 7.5. Over under 45.5 points at the time this was put out. And you have Kyler Murray returning as well as DeAndre Hopkins coming back for Arizona. Hopkins, Pryor says he's been out of action since week 8, so not really sure what to expect.
I think he can go off.
You think he can go off?
Yeah.
Right now, he's at DraftKings. His price is $6,200. What do you think of that, Terrence? DeAndre Hopkins,
I mean, for that price, yeah. I mean, $6,200. I like the price. I mean, it's a good. If you playing in a deep DFS lineup, I would. You could take a swing there. If I had him on my season long, I'm playing him. It's DeAndre Hopkins. If he healthy, you got to play him. So.
All right. So Andy Dalton will get the start again for Chicago on against the Lions. Of course, you got to take that with a grain of salt. But he had 317 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception in his first start. Since early in the year. And so right now, the Arizona pass defense ranks 3rd in DVOA and is giving up 6.5 yards per pass attempt. So,
and they're coming off a bye.
Yeah, so it doesn't bode well for Dalton this week, which trickles down to the receivers, which Chicago really has none, except for Daryl Mooney, who's over the last 2 games have gone over 100 yards.
I do like David Montgomery.
Like David Montgomery,
especially
at the
for his
running back
price.
Spot. He's 5,600 on DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
And some they say worried that it's a value trap. It's considering that they're playing against Arizona, who for the most part has the defense is playing well. I don't see Andy Dalton scaring them enough to where they don't be focused heavy on the run, stopping them run. James Conner, he actually it's crazy. James Conner with all the touchdowns he's still second behind Jonathan Taylor. But he's scored in 5 consecutive games, and basically continues that same output. And it says in 3, Evans has missed the last 2 games and played 1 snap in week 9. And so since that time, Conner has gone for 52 carries, 197 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 139 and 1 touchdown receiving on 15 targets. So he scored 13 to 15 and averaged 23.4 fantasy points per game over the last 3 weeks. So I definitely think that he has, he's only 5,900 right now on DraftKings. So I think he's a better value than David Montgomery is at this point in time.
Why not get both?
From a tight end standpoint,
a lot of things in life, like Jose. I wish.
Oh man!
All right, so I think Zach Ertz is low in tight end 1, high in tight end 2 this week. But let's move on we talked about Burrow earlier with the viewer question, but Chargers versus Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals favored by 3. The over under is 50 points, so it should be a decent output between the two teams. Cincinnati defense, for some reason, has been sneaky good in certain games. I just hope San Diego shows up because if we get bad Herbert, then it could be bad all the way around. So we know we're running Herbert, Mixon. Both of them are. Let me ask you, who would you rather have this week, Eckler or Mixon? We start with you, Terrence.
That's a good one. I mean, yeah, because you're talking about possible 2 top 5s. So, what is it? What you laughing at, Jose?
No, I'm laughing at Gene. I'm laughing at Gene. Because if he would have came to you, he would be like,
I would have been too. I'm waiting to see what y'all talking about. Like what? No.
Yeah. So I guess I gotta. Who at home on this one?
So Cincinnati is at home, and they're favored by 3.
Okay. Man, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
Hold on. What's the question again? Because Terrence, the laying got me like.
I'm delaying. It's Eckler versus Mixon.
I'm going with Mixon.
That's it.
Okay.
I just like how he's running this year. Even though I know Eckler's good, I'm just going with Mixon. Just his smoothness, the way they're blocking, they're consistent with it.
All right, what about you? You going Eckler? All right. What about you? Got any take on that, Gene? Break the stalemate?
I'm rolling with Mixon. I mean, Mixon got more touchdowns. I know Eckler gets a lot out the backfield, but Mixon got more touchdowns. He's got 300 more yards rushing. And the Chargers defense hadn't been, as good as they were early in the season. They've been giving up some plays, so I would definitely go with Mixon.
I'm gonna switch to Mixon.
I was about to tell you why you picked Eckler, because he could catch out the backfield. I mean, that's most. Yeah, I don't see him rushing. I don't see Eckler rushing more. I see him catching more, but I see Mixon like handling him or just rushing. That's what I see most.
I'm gonna go Eckler.
Right here.
It's too close, man.
It is. They're both good running backs. They're both good running backs.
Yeah.
Eckler's more of a weapon outside the running back. He can catch.
But you know what about this game though? Who really fell off, man? And Mike Williams, yo.
Oh yeah.
Yo, everybody's expecting him to pop back.
Oh, he's going crazy the first 4 weeks of the season, and then all of a sudden he just went off the cliff. I know because I got him.
Right. So look, speaking of downturns, or people they haven't been as long of a down, slump as Williams, but Jamal Chase over the last two weeks, total 6 receptions, 71 yards, 1 touchdown on 9 targets.
I know.
Mm-hmm. So his value's been down. He's only going for 7,000 on DraftKings. I think T. Higgins has. He ended his 6-game touchdown drought last week with a 32-yard TD catch over the Steelers, and he almost had 2, but he got stopped short of the end zone, and so I think he's been playing pretty good. He's been a steady wide receiver 2 option. I think the odd man out has been Tyler Boyd. He says since week 4 he's averaged 3.3 catches and has a total of 30.3 fantasy. That can't be right. The 3.3 catches, but they tried to say he had 30 fantasy points per game. That can't be right. The target share is just not in his favor at this point in time. Keenan Allen, he's 7,500 on DraftKings, and he's running double-digit targets over the last 5 straight games, averaging 8.4 receptions, 95 yards over that stretch. So he's clearly become the number 1 option, pass catching option. From a receiver standpoint for San Diego. One last thing on Mixon. They said he's over his last 4 games, he scored 2 touchdowns in each game. And at least 1 touchdown in the last 8. So you pretty much could chalk him up for a TD. All right. The one the team we all love or love to hate is the Washington football
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Las Vegas Raiders. Over under is 49.5. Raiders favored by 2.5. I'm gonna tell you, man, I don't really like Washington in this game, considering they're going out to Vegas, right? We talk about West Coast teams going east. I don't like. I just don't like the Reds. I don't like the Washington football team going out. Like we talked about the history between their leadership and their issues with the women. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't trickle down to the players, man. But I just don't have a good feeling about it. I hope they win. It's just, I don't know. They their leadership hasn't been that professional. So we'll see how they handle Vegas, man. Like,
it Vegas.
man, just don't say it. Like when you're radio guys, man,
Right.
and they get lap dances, man. It's tough. So, but yeah, man. So we talked about Taylor Heineke. Man, he has been not spectacular, but he has been performing admirably for Washington during that time. It says he's been QB 13 all year, and he's facing a Raiders defense that's 25th, where they're giving up 19.6 fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. So he has an opportunity, to put some decent numbers, but we'll see. Antonio Gibson, he's been bouncing back, and since the bye week, man, he's seen a recent resurgence. He had 29 for 111 against Seattle, and added 35 yards receiving on that. And with JD McKissick out, I think that could be, an opportunity for him to have a monster game this week. We do over under on Antonio Gibson this week. Right now, he is expected to have. Let's see, his output on half PPR this week is 14.7 points. So we'll start with you, Jose. I'm over under that total.
Over.
14.7.
Over that.
What you got, Gene?
Man, I feel like we haven't. You know what? I'm a little disappointed that we haven't been keeping up with this and revisiting these things on the following weeks, man. I would like to see next year, yo. We got to keep a record, yo, on who's correct and who's not. And at the end of the year,
yeah, please do. We can go back to the video.
Yeah,
let's do it this year.
Yo, we gotta do.
We got it on tape.
Yeah, we can just go back.
Yeah. Fact. That's a tough one.
I mean, what are you trying to prove?
Huh?
I just want to know.
that,
I'm just curious.
that you're right or what?
I might prove that, like, you were a genius, yo. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm just saying.
Like you said, hey, I just be playing the fence on everything, huh?
No, I might prove that you a genius. Like, I'm gonna go over though, because like I said, McKissick isn't playing, yo. Even though the dude from Buffalo, the University of Buffalo been doing pretty good lately. I'm a rock with over.
Who's that? Patterson?
Yeah. So, see, look at that. You didn't know he was from. He's supposed to be a secondary Washington football team.
I did. Hold up. I called his name out though.
I know what school your third string running back came from.
I don't know what school he came from. I know he plays with. I know his name.
All right. So
I felt like it just hit harder if I said the kid from Buffalo, from the University of Buffalo. It just felt like I was knowledgeable.
Look, in this game, that's a lot of players I like on this game.
No, I was going to ask you
game of the week.
Talk about who you like, but let's start off with Deshaun Jackson, right? Considering that he used to torch the Washington football team when he was in Philly,
he's going to have one or two. He's going to have one or two. Yep.
He get a blow up game today, like at least one long play.
Yes. He's going to have one or two.
Now, who else you like, Jose? Go ahead and run them all, and then
like
we'll
DeAndre Carter
and Gene.
I like DeAndre Carter on this. I think this is really going to be a blowout. My sleeper one is Foster Monroe, the tight end who's backing up Waller.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is that a tech or a timeout? What is it?
I like
Oh,
I like
really? Because he kind of flagrant right now. Hold on.
I like
It's really going to be a blowout. And which way?
I didn't say a blowout. I said it's gonna be a big game. Like this is my game of the week.
A blow. No, you said blow up game for
blow up game with all fantasy points.
I'm sorry.
It's gonna be really big. You go. I got
36-33. Something like that.
Maybe like 42. Maybe like 42, 36. I really think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
I'm wearing my vest next week, Joe.
For real. I don't think Jacob's gonna do good. I think it's gonna be passing. I think you're gonna have Hunter Renfro, Foster, Drake. That's on the Raiders side. On the Washington side, DeAndre Carter, McLaurin, Gibson.
It's no
Thomas.
possible game script where everybody can go off. It can't happen.
So the most points are going to come from Monroe on the Raiders side. On the Washington side, it's going to be McLaurin,
backup running back for the Raiders.
I said Drake, yeah, but he's not going to be the highest scoring. I'm saying I
just
like
have more points than Jacobs.
Yeah, he's going to have more points than Jacobs. Yeah, he's going to have more points than Jacobs.
You said write it down.
I'm not going against Jose. Jose has made me eat my words several times.
Turn say start today. Start this week.
No, listen. Okay, my mind be everywhere. So when I say DeAndre Carter is just a sleeper pick, DeAndre Carter is somebody. He's gonna probably give you 12 points, maybe 10 points if you need it. Like. If you need somebody that's in your fantasy league that's still on the free agency, go ahead and pick him up. He'll give you some points. If he gives you return points too, then he'll definitely pick you up. I mean, definitely give you points on that more than 9 or 12. McLaurin, he's going
with that.
Go ahead.
I disagree. Yo, because Redskins got too many weapons now, yo. You got Curtis Samuel about to get back in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
You got Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel is a weapon.
Yeah.
He been hurt all. Don't forget what he did last year in North Carolina.
But he's still trying to get he's still trying to get his game and his scheme there. So
but he's gonna get back in the mix. Then you got Logan Thomas back in the mix too.
Okay, weapon too? Okay. I'm just asking. Y'all said weapons.
I feel.
But what I say about
DeAndre,
what I said about DeAndre.
Y'all said Lamb, Gallup, and Cooper. Or
I mean, he's better than Schultz.
Weapons,
is Thomas better than Schultz?
Yeah. Oh, yes, he is.
Is who better than Schultz?
Logan Thomas.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Listen.
No. Check the stats.
Yeah. I told him.
What I'm saying is,
he was lax, so he coming through now.
My point was Carter. To me, the Redskins are starting to have lots of weapons, and it's gonna have to get dispersed. You saw with McLaurin last week, he missed out on a lot of targets because you had Logan Thomas and Curtis Samuel eating up some of those targets. So it's gonna be a little bit harder to predict.
And DeAndre Carter. The reason why I'm picking DeAndre Carter as a sleeper and just getting some points is because he has his speed, right? His speed comes like they give him his routes is like a fade, post corner, down the middle, and they do reverses with him. So those are the points.
And some of those reverses, one of them went to Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel, yeah. But Curtis Samuel, I see him getting at least 10 points. Like he's not going to be their focal point. The focal point is Logan Thomas and McLaurin. Those are the focal points.
So this is what we need to do moving forward next year, Ryan. If you can't do it this year, because I feel like the way our format is set up, it'll take up too much time. So you just said, again, DeAndre Carter for like the third or fourth straight week is a sleeper, right? So now we got to start putting some caveats in on what determines him as being successful. So if he catches a touchdown today and you send a group text and says, he called it. But he only had that one catch. And he got 6 points. Are we calling him? Right. Are we validating what Jose said?
I will Eugene on that.
Like now, are we going over unders on a sleeper?
It's got to be. You got to say a certain amount of points. I'm with you.
Over 13 to be considered
the
a
group
sleeper,
text
yo.
do be coming in at about 1:15.
Right, and then you got else the rest of the game.
Hey, Terrence, early in the game.
Hold up. What is
What's
the purpose?
criteria, yo?
What is the purpose of my sleepers, right? If you need someone to give you points when somebody's on a bye week, somebody that you can't predict. The guy that I'm sending to you, DeAndre Carter, is going to give you something. 9 points? He's going to give you something more than
nothing.
Like a Ty Johnson.
That's fair, Jose. Don't get upset.
And then if he gets points on return points, he's number 3 in returns. He's number 3 in returns. He gets points in returns. So if you have a league where they get points for returns, he is now a top receiver.
We're not attacking your
No, I'm giving you my explanation.
We're not attacking your Sleeper King status. We're just trying to get some information on what is considered a successful hit and what is not. That's all. I agree.
So we do need to set some standards, right? So some was it baselines? If you call him a sleeper, then it should be what
15 points.
I say it's like 6. I think it should be over 6 or 7.
6 or 7. You can 6
because like
throwing darts.
So more than.
But that's what you need. You're not gonna get no 15 points off a sleeper. You call 15 points a sleeper. You might as well call him a starter.
But that's what we're saying.
If my receiver give me less than 10 points, then I should have been looking at somebody on free agency.
So that's what we're saying.
All right. So we can say that.
Like the number 2 receiver who may go off this week, or is it someone that you won't even have rostered, and he'll give you 6 to 9 points to cover for what you wouldn't have had at first.
6 to 9. That's.
I would say double digits. I'll say
double digits.
We'll say 10 points. If you a sleeper, somebody you expect to get 10 points.
So, all right. If that's what you call it, right.
Yo, I mean, because you talking about 50 yards. And
so the
catches.
guys I'm picking, the guys I'm picking, right, has potential to go off for you to give you an average of either 6 to almost 20 points.
That's a huge.
No, but if you look at the players I've called, If a man goes down like DeAndre Carter, right? He's been averaging what? Somebody got his numbers right now? Pull his numbers up.
Who's this?
I got
DeAndre Carter.
Right. So what's
the last 4 weeks?
So last week he didn't score, but the 3 weeks before that he scored a touchdown 3 straight weeks.
Ooh.
But against Carolina, he got 7.9 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So if DeAndre Carter catches that touchdown at 108,
that 7 points was taking over a pool.
Like I told you, and he doesn't have a catch the rest of the game. Was it or was it not a successful sleeper?
I don't think 7.9 points is winning you anything. It ain't winning you nothing in DFS.
So if you pick up Tyson Hill, right? You pick up Tyson Hill because you needed Tyson Hill. You have no quarterbacks, right? And he gave you 6 points. Is that a win? But he has a potential to give you 28 points.
That's a good point. See, and that's what I'm asking. That's a good point, right?
That's what's a sleeper. A sleeper is someone who has the potential to give you over what you expect them. He's not expected to get no points. So anything over a certain points, that's a sleeper.
Right. So hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
So look, if they said 12 o'clock turns, my running back is out, right? And I don't have any running back, and I'm trying to find a sleeper, someone that just can give me something. And I pick up someone at 12:30 that's a second string back, and he gives me 9 points. Did that not work? Because that's 9 points I wouldn't have had at first.
I just disagree with what a sleeper is. I feel like I don't care if you get me 6 points. The purpose is to win the game. You know what I mean? So like, if you were supposed to get me 3 and you got me 7, and I still didn't even crack 100, that's a loss. You know what I mean? So what's the point? What's the point?
But that gave you closer to 100. It still gave you closer to 100.
Like I need a sleeper is somebody who's going to help me win the game.
Yes,
right. But help is different. Though.
Yes.
Help is
okay.
Help is giving you more than you would have had if you wouldn't have picked them up.
So think about this. Everybody got Hawkinson, right? Hawkinson was not a top tight end, right? Nobody, I think, even drafted him top tight end. And if they got him as a tight end, the potential of him going off was a sleeper because nobody saw it. Nobody saw him being in like a top 3, top 10 tight end. Hawkinson. With golf in the season. With Stafford, it would be a whole different.
Sleeper. Hawkinson was
I'm just giving you an example with
the fourth tight end off the board.
All right, let me give you a better sleeper. Who's a better sleeper that came out of nowhere?
DeAndre Carr.
No, a better what he would consider a sleeper.
Because he's not. If you started him all year, you are losing.
Jalen Hurts.
He's not a sleeper.
He wouldn't be a sleeper.
Hurts went in the first round.
No, so look, I think that you do have to define what we may have to redefine sleeper because there's week to week sleepers and then there's sleepers who are doing better season long, right? So,
Like
Cordell Patterson
Swift.
is a sleeper.
Like
Cordell Patterson.
Swift, huh?
Cordell Patterson.
Patterson's a sleeper.
Yeah,
that was a sleeper.
Season, though.
That was a great
season though.
That's what a season.
Yeah, that was a great sleeper.
But
So,
the thing is,
DeAndre Swift is a sleeper for the season.
Yeah,
Top 5 back.
DeAndre Swift is not a sleeper. He went in the second round.
Let's go with Patterson. Right? He's a sleeper, right? But when you picked him up, whoever picked him up had an idea that he has a potential to go up because
But he was a sleeper, meaning people were sleeping on him. He didn't go in the top six rounds.
Nobody expected him to be the top.
I rule in favor of Jose on this one, yo. Like, and it's crazy because I started the argument being funny with Jose, but I do think the truth is somewhere in the middle for me. Like, I feel like if you suggest something, like I feel like if you need someone in a pinch, that's how I always took it. If you need a player in a pinch to just get you a decent amount of points, then that's your sleeper for that week. That's how I always took it. Not someone who's going to explode.
Right.
That's how I take it.
Well, so I don't call that a sleeper. I call that a fill-in. You just need somebody to fill in some points. You know what I mean? I don't really. That's not a sleeper to me. I guess it's somebody who can help.
But what if that person gets consistent? Because like Madison was a backup, right? We all know Madison. If Cook is out, Madison is going to beast out, right?
He's not a sleeper anymore.
But the thing is, he was at one point a sleeper because somebody hoped and believed that he was going to fill in on what Cook can do, and he overachieved what Matt can do, what Cook can do. So now he has not become he's not a sleeper no more because people know what he can do.
Is if you go on Yahoo and it says % of people starting this person. And that thing says like,
and you all the names I call,
meaning nobody's starting them, and they end up being in the top 24 for running backs or the top 36 for wide receivers. Then that's a successful sleeper, in my opinion.
So if you look at ESPN and all those sites, right, and they'll have sleepers of the week, and some of those names they have sleepers of the week are the names that have been calling all year. Oh yeah, and
they don't hit. They don't hit all the time. That's all.
But they're sleepers though.
I ain't gonna settle. We went a long time.
Here,
it's just
all right. So real. I last thing, and I'm done. So going like to the Madison point. I don't think that you can call like if a starter running back gets hurt. I don't think that you can call his backup a sleeper because people will automatically go to the next man up mentality at a running back and play.
He's gonna be 100% started.
So I don't think a backup running back can that is.
But a backup running back cannot be as. You never know a backup running back can be as good as the starter.
But I do agree that
Jose get like 20 touches.
But he might.
No, that's not true. You can't. No, you can't say. You can't. You can't
be a Mark
Ingram. You can't. Yeah, you can't say that just because you're the backup, you're gonna automatically inherit all the carries. We see that with.
Where you been at, Roddy? You just now jumping in, man. Come on.
Right. Yeah, you know, we did all that.
Look, I already made my piece. I already said I'm with Jose. You can't. You got to separate a season long versus a week to week jump.
Right.
And that's where I am. It got to get more than 7 points. He got to get more than 7 points.
I said 10.
But so okay, so what if you get?
You can't text me. So if 7 points,
did he get 7 points that game? Did I text you?
We don't know could it be so early, yo? Like it'd be like
that's why I said call his what's his numbers for the last 4 weeks? What's his numbers for the last 4 because I've been calling him name for the last 4 weeks.
Who? DeAndre?
Yeah.
He got 0 last week, right?
He didn't get 0 last week.
Hold on. He so against Seattle, 4.6. Against Carolina.
See, he had 4.6 in what 4 PPR? What? Because he gave me 9.8 in our league.
That's hold on. Oh, you're right. I got it on the standard. So it would have been 6.6.
Okay.
Last week he was off, but what about the 3 weeks he scored? He scored the 3 weeks before that. Every game.
So against Carolina, 9.9.
That's a touchdown. I said that one.
Yeah, but
I mean 8.9 because he had 2 catches
and that's one touchdown.
But in our fantasy league, he gave me 12 points the week before. The week before that, he gave me 15 points. The week before that, he gave me 20 points. In our fantasy league, and in my other fantasy league, he also gave me more points because they get return yards as well.
Right. Okay. Well, if you say it like that, then you good to go.
But
that's why I say if you can get double digits out of a guy that you wouldn't expect he would have been on the waiver wire this week. If you can bring him off the freezing list and get double digits, that's a win for me.
That's like DeAndre Harris. That's exactly like DeAndre Harris. DeAndre Harris gave me 23 points in our league, but he gets points off of returns.
Right.
You know, he had
double digits.
You know, but in regular formats, he don't get that. But you can get him. He can give you points for a starter that was out, that's on bye week, or starters not performing, like the time with Lockett or Metcalf. He would have gave you more points than Metcalf. You know, that's what
I'm with you. My only issue is
you got to be more than 6 points.
You out here saying like King and Drake, right? King and Drake ain't scored over 5 points in 3 weeks.
But I'm also looking at matchup. But you never heard me call Drake this whole time until today.
I know, but I just don't understand. You know, So how many points does King and Drake have to score for you to be right on the King and Drake call?
13.
As long as he scores 6 points, as long as he scores 7 points, I win. Because that's all I needed. That's if you look at what you need for that player, you got somebody on the bye week. You don't know what to expect. If you can get 7 points or more, he has a potential to get 7 points, so almost 15 to 16 points. That's a win.
This? Let's say this. Let's like call it this. A player has to get 3 times his projected total. So if you projected at 5 is 15. If you're projected at 10 is 30.
How many multiples?
3 times.
That's what you shoot on. Like what's DFS, right? 3 times your
projected totals. Right? That's fair. Because you get a 2 is 6. If you put it at 6, it's
yeah. I'm gonna say like somebody I just looked at that we called out Jose. Their expected total was like 4 points, so they'll put them at 12.
Right. I think that's
so. I can see that. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it could be the expected total of our league. Like it doesn't have to be the what you call it. But
look, and I feel like this is not fair because jokers on TV ain't never right, but they'll never got to follow back up the next week about it. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of just talking shit.
That's basically what we do. So look, let's move on. And now we got a question. Do the 49ers win today? Jose, I'm gonna let you take that. It says you got beat up on about your sleepers.
I didn't beat up.
Do the 49ers win today?
Yeah, I honestly believe the 49ers win. Even though I hate Seahawks, they always show up against us. Like Russell Wilson would be the game that he comes back and looks like Russell Wilson. But I'm gonna go with.
It wasn't last week.
I'm gonna go with 49ers because I feel like their running game is on point. I feel like they're gonna really have an idea of running strong and delivering those executed passes to Kittle and Ayuk. I think Ayuk is gonna show off because their Seahawks secondary sucks.
All right, so let's move on, man. We gotta get through these last.
Yeah, these kids is hungry.
Yeah, I got.
They looking at me like you tripping.
Jacksonville versus the Rams, right? Normally, we would say this game should be a runaway. Rams at home, favored by 12.5. is there anybody that you expect to just kill for go off for the Rams at all? Anybody you guys? We'll start with you, Terrence.
Jeff. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you got your normal people. You know, you got Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford.
Look, so we talk about like expected totals, right? He's gone 3 games without a touchdown. That's not typical for him.
That means he's due.
He's due,
right? And he's playing Jacksonville at home.
He's due. So yeah, I like, of course, your stars in that one. Robinson, I don't trust James Robinson. I'm talking about. I don't know if he's playing. He's questionable, right?
No, he's questionable. So Carlos Hyde may end up getting the start.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't trust Urban Meyer, man. I think he's terrible.
He's been terrible, man. I'm surprised. Like I don't know if I was, reading, his press clippings. The fact that he had 2 different programs that he brought up to prominence. Oh, that not prominence, but he got the national championship. But it was 3. Yeah, okay. But for him to be this bad as an NFL coach, it's crazy.
Man,
I was
Steve Spurrier. He's Steve Spurrier. But
yeah, it might be.
He I don't know. I think he's trying hard to make Trevor Lawrence successful, but you do that to me by leaning on the running backs, sort of like what Bill Belichick is doing. So I don't know. I just don't think he got a good plan. So I don't really trust a lot of Jacksonville players at all.
All right.
So
let's go to Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. Now this joint used to be.
Oh, yeah, I got a question about this one for y'all.
Man, this joint used to be one of the best games of the week. Year in and year out, where you basically get the body bags ready. But right now, Roethlisberger, and I heard they said quiet is kept in the locker room. Ben has been telling people this is last year, and it's probably it's about time.
It need to be.
So you got Lamar Jackson. We talked about Najee Harris, where his volume was supposed to basically carry him, but last week, he wasn't so great for him. So we'll let you take this game, Gene. Anybody that you like a lot or kind of fade a little bit?
Yeah, and I'm fading the whole Pittsburgh offense, yo. Like, I just feel like they're so inconsistent, man. Like, whether it's Parker, Najee, they don't, they just can't move the ball. And of course, as you said earlier, it all comes back to the quarterback, man. It all comes back to Big Ben. If I had my laptop in front of me, man, I would run off a bunch of stats like I normally do, but Big Ben just not what he used to be, so I'm not with it at all. As far as
he don't look like his head in the game either.
Nah, he don't, man. Like that whole offense is gonna suffer because of him. But on the Ravens side, man, it's y'all said Hollywood is playing, right?
Hollywood Brown,
he's going to play,
yeah. So it's funny because I was off on him early, in the year when Jose was looking at me like I was crazy. But Jose had proven right about that one. So, Hollywood definitely been balling. Jackson and what's the tight end name?
Andrews.
Yeah, Andrews killing me because my other league, man. Like, our boy got Jackson and Andrews, man. This has been like crazy. And Pittsburgh defense, although they're like formidable, they're not like a top 5 defense like they used to be. So
a note on their defense, TJ Watt more than likely won't play, and Joe Hayden more than likely out.
Okay, yeah, but I think Turner said that he had something on his game that he wanted to ask.
A question, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, how do y'all think? I got Lamar Jackson as my number 1 quarterback in the league this week. So I'm starting him in a lot of DFS, but I know he hasn't always been great against Pittsburgh, so I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on that. Like, y'all think that, I got him running for 100 yards. What y'all think?
Yeah, I like that. I think he's gonna have a 200, 300 yard game this game.
Running or throwing? Or like total yards?
Total yards.
Total,
I think he's gonna throw and run.
Yo, man, like you tripping. Talking about some 300 yards running. He gonna. I don't know about yards running though.
He said total. He said I asked him. He said total yards.
Turn said he thinks that he's gonna have 100 yards rushing.
100 rush? Yeah, not I just said 300 yards.
Yeah, that's a hell of a thing to predict, girl. Like, I mean,
no, I think he's gonna throw. I think he's gonna throw a lot. I think because with Joe Hayden out,
quick. Let me show you what my kids are doing since I'm not monitoring them. Yes, you know, here looking like Silence of the Lambs. I gotta get off of here because
look, man. Hey, look, you get ready to feed him to the pigs, Slim.
Right.
Everybody house like
walking around.
Look, it's about
look at Roddy. Look at your high Roddy shoulder. It's like your anarchy that took over this episode.
Hey, look. Hey, Slim.
Anarchy.
Look, this is why we got started at 8:30, Slim. And we can't have no more tangents about these sleepers and other stuff. Oh, hell break loose right around 11:30.
Right.
I'm telling you. Hey, no. All right, look, all right, let's run through, man, and try to finish up.
Like so yes, no, yes,
I know, right? New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills. This should be part of the game of the week.
No.
Are you running? So we know we running Josh Allen and
no, I'm not.
and Diggs out. I guess the question is, what do you think about on New England's offensive on the offensive side of the ball? Or one, do you think New England can slow down Buffalo? And then, are you playing anybody on New England side? We let you start, Gene, since you don't got no kids running around the back.
Man, you might want to start with them because they don't got to run around right now. By the time I finish.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, somebody free?
Yeah, I'm free.
All right, go ahead, Jose.
Oh, here she go.
Oh, man, see? No, you're free.
I am picking. The only person I'm playing on I'm getting distracted too. On the Patriots. On the Patriots is born in Hunter.
Born in Hunter.
Yeah, that's Hunter Henry.
Sir, anybody you playing from that you would play from New England, and does Buffalo keep the train moving this week?
I actually like New England in this game. I think they can.
I do too.
Yeah, I do too. I got New England winning.
For the winning. Buffalo's so up and down, man. So, yeah, I'm taking New England. But fantasy wise, I mean, you probably can look at Bourne. You know, he seemed like he's going.
I like him. I like him better than I like Myers.
Yeah. I like him this week.
Is he a sleeper? You know. Just joking.
See, he went off last week.
We're not starting with that. We already had that discussion.
Let's do it. I mean, I think he's sleeper. The definition is in the full fantasy league is he started by more than 50%. If he's under 50% started, he's a sleeper. And you know, right. So
I'll agree with that. Under 50% is a sleeper.
Yes.
Right.
Under 50%.
Not
started.
Right.
But you also have to score within the top, you know, at least 36 for a wide receiver to me.
No, but that's not true because if you get somebody that
48 then. 40 make top 48.
You got at least be in flex. I say flex, you gotta make the flex.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so say 48. That's flex.
Mm-hmm.
7 points is not. It's not either one of those. Okay.
All right,
if you need 7 points to win,
you get ready to get us back on. Nah, all right, that's it. You got tables. You got serial killers running around your room.
I know.
You can't get back on that.
Look at her, man. She over here whispering. She got clay in her eyes.
All right, look. Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs. Jay, I'm gonna let you get that. Get this one there. Anybody that's like Melvin Gordon is out, right? We know that. So Javonte Williams is getting all the carries this week. And they've been splitting, and Javonte's been his efficiency has been better than Gordon's.
Right.
So, and then now Clyde was a layup. He supposedly is back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you gotta go with Williams on that one just because he's gonna get the majority of the carries, and you know Teddy Two Gloves ain't really light him up quarterback, so they won't have to lean on a running game. So you definitely should. Williams should definitely be a play. Man, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I don't trust any running back in the Andy Reid offense, man. I don't care what he did last week. It's like the Patriots, the week-to-week thing doesn't matter. I mean, because it is week to week, it doesn't matter what they did last week. But he might be a good play only because it seems like they sidelined Williams a little bit on Kansas City side. On Kansas City,
this one I understand. The real Williams all played better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire when he was in, and then as soon as Edwards-Helaire came back, they basically started giving most of a lot of the touches. I'm like, man, you might as well keep Williams back. That's when y'all get back off your little your streak or whatever.
Right. We need that Dave Chappelle joint. We need to poop. We need to pop it out. That's what Jose giving us.
All right, man. So I think we got one more game that we didn't do, and that was going to be I think San Francisco, Seattle. We didn't cover that game. So Jose, you want to take us out on that?
Yeah, San Francisco gonna win. It's gonna be a tough game, but San Francisco gonna win. It's gonna pull it off by at least a touchdown field goal.
But this fantasy podcast, yo, like what's about like who?
Elijah Mitchell, Garoppolo.
I like Elijah Mitchell a lot.
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell a lot, Kittle a lot, and Ayuk a lot. I'm done.
Any rebuttals, turns, and we'll take it out.
I agree with everything he said. Let's take it out.
All right, man. Look, go handle your little your young serial killers.
Yeah, I got my DraftKings. I gotta get out too.
You're walking Chucky dolls. I got one around here. Hey, Tur, she around here whispering in the back as well, trying to get on camera. Look, y'all ain't see me when I did this joint, right? That's because she's in the back wilding, Slim. I was like, nah, you can't. Look, then I'm gonna get in trouble because Sean will be like, why you let her on the camera like that? See, I don't know how you get away.
Same here.
Camilla ain't gonna check the podcast out.
I know.
At least not the video version. All right, fellas, man. Y'all, hey, it's been fun. Y'all be easy. I need to go get my lineups together and see if a couple of those picks are still in the free agent slot.
All right, I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in.
You want to put my DraftKings real quick? Just one real quick. Tom Brady, Madison, Mitchell, Bateman, Carter.
There you go. He playing.
Renford, Gronkowski, Connor, and
Bateman.
Eagles.
Bateman,
hold on, wait a second. Oh, your DFS. I thought you give you a sleeper. I was like, man, Slim, Brady can't be a sleeper. But
no, DFS.
My mind all in that argument again.
Bateman. Okay, that's a good. I like the Bateman pick. I like that.
I'm gonna pull a Gene, man. I ain't got mine together yet, so I'm gonna have to holler at y'all.
Homework ain't done. Right.
Nope. That's because y'all took me over on a tangent. By that time Kendall came in, I was done.
My sleeper for the week, Rex Burkhead.
Huh. Okay.
Yep.
New England.
Houston.
I mean, not New England.
Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, especially what's the name out right? What's the name? There used to be a fantasy monster. Then he just fell off the map after hurting his finger, I think. Johnson. All right, fellas, man. It's been real.
Peace out.
Take it easy.
All right.
Later.
All right.